Hey guys, Cholera here once again with SC2GG Rise. We're picking another single commentary to do, and just picking the gems out of the diamonds in the rough, that is boring Pro League games by people like Gwemchi or whatever. I can't even figure out a player I can just make fun of. Bolty, Justin, Frozian. Among the Frozian versus Hyuks, the rough, we picked another one. This is ForGG versus Light Alive. This is going to be a Terran versus Terran, I warn you. So get your popcorn ready, get your beers ready, and sit back and get in the comfortable chair because it's going to be a long one here. We're going to have this is game 2 of Lecaf Oz versus MBC Hero. By the way, do check out SC2GG Rise for Game 1, which was also epic, Jaedong versus C. We're not going to spoil the results, but anyway, I'm going to hand it off to him, the man. My name from Brooklyn.
Yeah, this is SC2GG Rise. I never actually say my name in these dual commentaries, but there we go. So the first game was epic. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I do think you should watch it. It was a really good game between Jaedong and I can't remember now, but it was Jaedong versus someone.
C. C.
Oh, C. Oh, Sweaty Hand C. Yeah, how could I forget that? So, very well worth watching if you guys get a chance. And I don't forget their names during the game, so don't worry about that. They are playing now. We're watching Light Alive versus ForGG. Orange Terran is ForGG, and he's playing Light Alive. Light Alive in the top right, ForGG in the bottom right. And this is on a fresh wind and a bright moon, or whatever they call it these days. There's
Harmony.
Too many words. Harmony, yeah. If you look at John 747's name for it, though, he calls it new, a fresh wind and a bright moon, which I guess is just like a direct translation of something. I don't know. But it's a pretty cool map and a decent size. So, oh wait, we have something going on here in the middle already. Is that just an early scout, cross scout, or are we gonna see some?
No, well, I think it's a cross scout. Yeah.
Option. I don't know. I think he's just checking for. He might just be checking for cheese to make sure nothing's going on from the other end. But oh no, he is building a barracks right in the middle there. So we're gonna start this match off very quickly with some proxy barracks action. And I do not know if this is going to be a very successful move here right now. It seems easily defendable. What do you think, Collar? How's this going to work out?
Well, actually, Light Alive's forward barracks is actually kind of a common technique that we've seen. Usually it's employed on 1v1 maps, two-player maps, where you put up a forward barracks right next to your opponent's base, but you go for a standard build afterwards. You put your factory down. The timing is almost exactly the same. And what you do with the forward barracks is you build a couple of Marines, do a little harass if possible, and then you lift it and you hang it around your opponent's base and just become all sorts of annoying with that. Do all sorts of terrible, annoying things like landing it somewhere and trying to block things. Do a manor barracks or something. But I do suspect it's going to be for those purposes. It's going to keep ForGG busy also scouting to try to find this forward barracks because he's going to see there's nothing going on inside of Lightspace, no racks inside Lightspace. He might even have to, yeah, he's going to have to build a couple of Marines himself to deal with the forward barracks and the forward Marines. But I don't think it's going to be that out of the ordinary, especially now that I see only one SCV on gas for Light, the Purple Terran. So it really makes me think that he's going to be going for a standard fast expand, just with a little bit of early pressure here.
No, you're definitely right. I just thought he might have been going a double proxy barracks. I wasn't looking. He only had one SCV out there. You're right with the forward barracks, especially with annoying people. We saw Firebat Hero actually do that in one of his recent games. I forget who it was he was playing, but he actually stopped the other player from putting down a comsat for like a minute and a half just because he had his barracks sitting there. And it actually worked out to be a pretty effective little harassment, eventually losing it. And Starport going down for Light Alive. And we're going to see if we see some race. But an Armory going down right away for ForGG. That's really annoying to say, man, for ForGG. But a Vulture out too. So he's going to try to take care of any Marines that might come out of that forward barracks. We actually may be already past that point. No, I guess not. And it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a mirror battle going on in the middle here.
Wow.
And it looks like, oh, the Vulture goes down right away for Light Alive. ForGG doing a good job, not losing his Vulture, coming out ahead there. And let's see if he can do anything with that little force that he's got left over.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got a little bit of advantage. I like what Light Alive did here. Light, I gotta call him Light. No Light Alive here. But Light faked going for an expansion. Instead, he's gonna go for the starport. He might even go for the expansion anyway. But if you know what I'm talking about, he was only mining with one SCV on gas, I believe, when the SCV of ForGG was inside his base. But then I think he immediately put more SCVs back on gas, and now he's going to be going for, it looks like possibly a drop or cloak rates. Most likely cloak rates here with the control tower down. But unfortunately for him, ForGG somehow had his spider senses going, and he put down the armory. It could be for, possibly actually, it could be just for some Goliaths, and maybe he was thinking about going for a Goliath Vulture ground push, although that is quite rare nowadays. We don't see that unless it's in response to cheese. But anyway, ForGG is all over Light Alive's ramp, and this is not looking good at all for Light. Light's going to really need those rates to help defend, and meanwhile, ForGG is probably going to even scout them. Oh, all the vultures go down for Light. So huge trouble, huge trouble.
And now a Goliath out in the mix too, so he's going to be able to take care of any wraiths that are going to try to clean up that vulture if he can get it in there in time. But it looks like it may just be a little bit too far out of the way to make it in time. Oh, what is he doing? He actually went to the mineral only expansion.
The AI.
He's going to try to intercept. Oh, you think it was
well,
the AI?
I think it possibly
was AI.
Though.
It worked out to get a couple of shots off on that wraith. And now actually it kind of worked out in his favor a little bit. I don't know how well it's going to work out at this point. I think he may have been better off if he could have got in the base if it was an AI thing. He's going to see the cloaked rays, although at the same time, ForGG is still going to go for that expansion command center, but he's probably going to lose that SCV. I don't think he's got ComSat up yet. I think he's building his academy as we speak, or just finishing it, and upgrading something. Yeah, there's the academy just finishing. We're going to see ComSat going down, canceling the SCV to get it down as soon as possible, and that Wraith really not going to be able to do too much. I mean, one Wraith may take out 1 or 2 SCVs, but most players, if anything, they'll just repair the one SCV getting attacked, and one Wraith could actually never do any damage other than wasting a couple of minerals. And that Wraith getting chased out of the way, running out of cloak, I think, before even scan comes down. And double upgrades now going down in that machine shop. So it looks like both players working on their expansions, and looks like we may start going into a bit of a macro mode for this game.
Yeah, this is a really interesting turn of events here. Light has decided to build just one Cloak Wraith. I think he realized that ForGG was completely prepared. I don't know whether ForGG was intentionally prepared or not, but we have seen lots of Terran versus Terrans in this game. On this map, go into pretty much all vultures. I believe I casted a game a few days ago where it was pure vultures, and so maybe ForGG accidentally got the right build because he wanted to throw some Goliaths in against a possible pure vulture battle. A couple Goliaths are quite valuable, but anyway, it was definitely interesting how ForGG just guessed that Light was going to go for, well, I don't know if he guessed, but it was just interesting that he went for Armory, and I think it's because of hacks. That is my conclusion. It's got to be hacks.
It could be. It could be. He's got his map hack on and ready to go. So, you know, but the new patch, man, the new patch just came out, so I don't know. I think he may have to update that hack program. It looks like we have that scouting barracks out now, and a little bit of a contain on Light from ForGG. Nothing groundbreaking. Something to be mentioned is that Starport being out is going to allow Light to get his dropships out a lot quicker than ForGG, or just I would expect to see him quicker anyway. So he may be able to use the Starport to get some mobility out early and try to do some more damage on the economy of ForGG, because right now ForGG's economy hasn't been touched at all, I don't think, other than losing, what, 2 SCVs from that Wraith harass?
Yeah, I mean, I think ForGG definitely killed more of Light's SCVs during that Vulture attack in the beginning. I think it was much more critical then. And I think Light actually is going to try expanding again. So I think ForGG just spotted with that SCV. So I don't know what Light is going to be able to do here about this attack. Yeah, exactly. Light's going to just send over 2 tanks casually and kill it because, well, he's at least going to set himself in a nice intercept position. Yeah, there's no way Light's going to get up there with tanks. Yeah, that tank taking 2 hits. Takes three hits though to kill a tank off, unless you have +2 attack upgrade, then it becomes just 2. But yeah, anyway, we're seeing more factories go down here for Light. I'm sorry, for 4GG. 4GG with a bit of an advantage in this game economically, and Light probably wants to cancel that command center, or else he's going to lose it pretty soon to, or at least be forced to lift due to these tanks that are going to encroach on it.
Yeah, but it also looked like it was scouted. I got the impression that 4GG scouted it, and now we are seeing a few units of 4GG moving over there. And those Rays going to be able to do a little bit of harassment, but Terran booster upgrades out for the Goliath, so really they're going to have a tough time doing any damage. And I don't think he'll be able to use it for anything more than scouting purposes at this point, because they're not going to do anything in terms of helping take out units. Maybe 4GG was waiting for that command center to go up before trying to take it out to actually make Light commit to the minerals used to make that command center, so he could really just make him waste it completely. And it looks like 4GG is going to go for a bottom left expansion at the same time. So 4GG, I'm really curious. I'm not sure he scouted that expansion actually at this point. I thought he did, and I can't imagine him not taking it out already.
Yeah, that is really interesting. I don't know if he did, because we saw the SCV on the low ground, so that is strange. But maybe he's just waiting to make a false sense of comfort for Light, and then when Light's got 10 SCVs, he goes there and kills everything. I don't know. Who knows? 4GG should know about it, but he might not. 4GG still has a bit of a contained. Light's trying to squeeze through that tiny little choke point there to get all of his tanks through. I think he's going to kill off all of 4GG. No, 4GG reinforcing this force now. He's got a couple more tanks there, and if Light loses this clump of tanks, he's going to be in huge trouble. Light has had the first attack advantage, but 4GG right now has, I think, more tanks and more health left on those tanks. He's probably going to win the battle there of that gap, and Light needs to win that, or else he has no chance of protecting that expansion at the 1130 whenever 4GG decides to scout it. I actually believe he hasn't scouted, because it would be dead by now if he had. Anyway, 4GG has an expansion of his own at the lower left. If Light can somehow just keep that expansion hidden, like using Jedi mind tricks, to prevent 4GG from seeing it, then he'll have a slight economic advantage. And oh my god, Light once again expanding right next to 4GG. This kid's got some big cojones, if nothing else. He's expanding. For sure. Yeah, he's expanding right next to the expansion of 4GG.
Man, that's going to be a tough thing to defend, though. I mean, he's spreading himself thin, and he's contained at the same time. If you're right, if he can use those Jedi mind tricks to stay hidden, he's going to have a chance in this game. But if either of those expansions get scouted out, I mean, he's going to take a huge hit. He's going to lose a ton of SCVs, and he's going to, I mean... Oh, Barracks going down for 4GG. That's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. He's going to have to rebuild that before he can make any more... Oh, look at that. Look at that. We got some scouting SCVs over here. Are they going to spot that? There is one out. He's outside of both expansions, and yet he hasn't scouted either. And yes, he does scout it. He scouts that one. And, oh, man, that command center is about to complete, too. And nice tank line out for 4GG, and... Light is going to have a tough time of getting past there, especially with the Goliaths behind him to take care of any scouting race. And 4GG building some supply depots around the area to make sure that Light doesn't put any more up. And that command center is completed, and I imagine that 4GG is going to take it out. Oh man! And Light doing a little harassment of himself with his floating barracks. He's now actually putting it to good use, and he's going to go harass the bottom left with it, with a couple of fire bats and a marine. What do you think of that, man? That is nice.
Oh my god, that is brilliant. That is hilarious and brilliant from Light there. I gotta say, 4GG definitely doesn't expect anything to come into the back of his base, so he has no defense. He doesn't have any vultures or anything to deal with it, and he's actually stopped mining at the lower left because of these fire bats. Now 4GG though has discovered the hidden expansion. Scouted, and oh man, this is going to be painful. There is nothing Light can do. I think 4GG realized, oops, there was an expansion up there, but I get to kill it now. I don't know, can Light break out? Light's going to lose both expansions at the same time. Meanwhile, though, his fire bats in a Terran versus Terran are killing some SCVs at the lower left, but he's going to lose both of his new expansions. He's going to be once again at only 2 bases. Yep, only at 2 bases right now. This is turning into a wild game here, Rise.
It certainly is, and I think that Light is all of a sudden becoming very aggressive, even more than he has been, pushing out with those tanks and actually doing a very good job. So while ForGG's units have been all over the bases, all over the map trying to take things out, Light has just taken back control of the map. I think that there's a little bit of a line
doing?
Still. I don't know. He's not even trying to defend his base at all. Goliath's finally coming out, and oh man, this is just ForGG is just he's becoming lax. I mean, he's totally lost his train of thought or something. Almost losing the bottom left to like a couple of fire bats and a marine, and losing a ton of units out in the middle when he had a good contain going. And now a couple of dropships out for Light as well, so he is finally making use of that starport with the control tower. Ray's coming out now for ForGG, so we are seeing some switches in tech going on here, or at least some mixing up of the units, and I think that the game is really going to start picking up pace right now.
Yeah, this is really interesting. ForGG getting a good intercept, though, on the rates. Oh, man. Somehow 4 rates from both players went in, and 4 rates only for ForGG came out. I guess this is probably the damage on the rates, but nice work there killing off the last of Light's remaining rates. Light switching over to dropship tech. ForGG does not have dropship tech. I gotta say, ForGG's been definitely, in the lead this entire game, but as for smarts, I would say Light has been playing the smarter game. I mean, he had the expansion hidden forever, and then he got fire bats. That was definitely hilarious. Those fire bats were definitely worth their cost. And, I think someone asked me once, a couple of people asked me, why don't we ever see, some random fire bats being thrown in to harass workers in either TVT or TVP, because you're going to have the academy eventually anyway. Here we go. We have exactly that happening. A couple random units coming out. Anyway, so here we're going to see a couple rates from ForGG attempt to harass the tanks. That's going to get nowhere. Light has his own Goliath force there that's going to chase him away. Right now, I would say ForGG still has a bit of a lead, actually quite a significant lead, but Light has sort of a tech advantage now with the dropships.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got the high ground here, so it's going to be a little difficult for ForGG to push out. He's taking a lot of shot from those tanks, but he does manage to push in, it looks like. Although, no, actually, Light has more. Oh, but ForGG just comes in with about 8 more tanks to solidify his push up on the ramp. But it looks like more dropships coming in again to reinforce the high ground to try to stop ForGG from taking any more expansions up there. And the tanks come in and actually do a pretty good job at holding back ForGG's forces. I mean, it's very tough to get up those ramps with no dropships, and at this point, Light is doing a very good job of holding him back there. And Light with an expansion waiting to go down, but ForGG building in his face. A little bit of a slap, I think, but it's not going to do all that much because, well, actually, Light's... He's got the dropships. If he can throw out a couple of Goliaths over there, he'll be able to take care of that no problem. And more fire bats out on the field. So at the very least, the payback is huge in terms of entertainment value, I think. And the dropships paying dividends as well.
Yeah, I think that was not a good drop there from ForGG. ForGG without one lone dropship. It's going to get picked off. Everything inside was wasted pretty badly there. ForGG may have scouted that barracks, but there's nothing he can do about it. I mean, part of the reason why that bottom left got so harassed is because all of his units were going to the upper right, to support the container. What is going on? Oh, okay. Wow. I thought that was ForGG building a command center inside of Light's expansion or something ridiculous. Light has retaken the 1130. Oh, and ForGG dropping one tank. Sayonara, Firebats. Tanks and Firebats. Yeah, tanks win against Firebats pretty badly. There goes the Firebat. Good effort, though. And meanwhile, another expansion of... Yeah, ForGG forced to relinquish the expansion at the upper left. I think this is actually even up the game a little bit. I'm not sure what those orange dots are in the middle. I think they could just be... Are they tanks or are they, like, engineering... sorry, turrets? I don't even know what they are, but there's something, a line of something still at the upper middle part of the map. But anyway, we're seeing a huge drop now from Light at the lower left. This is going to really cripple ForGG's economy if he manages to take out that huge saturation of SCVs.
And it looks like he is, because there's no dropships coming from ForGG, but he is going to lose an expansion in the meantime as well.
Oh, those are tanks. Those are
Oh,
tanks in
they
the
are
middle. Sorry.
tanks. That is a lot of
Wow.
units tied up in the middle. They're not doing much of anything. So Light with a very highly mobile force, and not the same for ForGG. Unfortunately for him, ForGG taking out a command center, but it's going to pay a lot more for Light to take out the bottom left than losing the command center because of all the SCVs that he took out as well. And actually, look at that. I just realized that that expansion basically means that ForGG is mining outside of Light's base, and so if he could destroy that temple and mine that out, he could actually push right into Light's base if he wanted to. That's a little bit ridiculous in itself.
Yeah, that's a really bizarre location for ForGG to try to attempt. I mean, both players are kind of playing mind games with each other, expanding where they wouldn't expect expansions to go in the least expected positions because they're the closest to the enemy. But anyway, I think Light has taken advantage in this game, believe it or not. I thought it was ForGG's game pretty much after both expansions went down for Light, but no, Light has come back admirably. I think you were right. ForGG sort of just got a little overconfident, slipped up in his micro and got lax. But anyway, here comes ForGG with a nice comeback drop here. He's going to kill off the entire force there, but he doesn't manage to save his lower left. However, he still has the natural expansion of the lower left, and he's still alive here at the temple expansion of Light. Now, I do think the tanks in the middle are a complete waste, though. They're kind of like the Maginot Line there. Just 4GG's, Light has just been able to fly around them and flank them the entire game. They're still there. I don't know why they're there. It should just be picked up, to be honest, and dropped somewhere where they'll be useful. But Light coming with another mobile force here, like you said. 4 dropships, full of units. 4GG still with a stronger economy, I gotta say, though. He's taken his own temple expansion. And meanwhile, Light can't take his because it's being occupied by 4GG. And he's actually mining gas from it.
That's awesome. I can't believe that he really took the expansion from Light. That's hilarious. But actually, it should be mentioned that 4GG actually higher dropship count at this point. But it looks like Light is going to push in and take out another expansion, but a huge force out for 4GG. And 4GG kind of going back and forth, not sure of what he wants to do here. And it looks like he's going to head back to try to save that expansion, but I think it's futile at this point. I mean, really, those tanks are going to do an easy job of taking out that command center, and if it lifts, the Goliaths will take care of the rest. And really, 4GG might have just squandered his chance to do some damage and turn to to Light. And wow, Light taking out another expansion of 4GG, and while 4GG's got that huge force, Light is building up and doing a ton of damage. And wow, a bit of a messy drop right in the middle of a ton of siege tanks, and I don't know how, oh man, a lot of tanks moving in. Wow, look at that tank force.
That's all you need to do.
Man. Wow.
All you need to do was attack move. Yeah, all you need to do was attack move there, 4GG. He was overthinking it. He was just take all your units, press A, and then move into the fort. You mean when you have like triple the number of tanks, you can actually literally do that. But it looks like he's actually going to smartly use his drop. Nope, he has nothing in the dropships, actually. He's dropped his dropships already. But meanwhile, Light is cleaning up everything that 4GG has in terms of economy. He's taken out 4GG's temple expansion. Light's still at 3 bases, sort of. He's one real expansion that's still mining. And 4GG only has one real expansion that's still mining too. It should be said at some point, though, TBT is the weakest lineup for both players. 4GG most famous for taking out Flash in the Arena MSL, but still, that was possibly because he just studied Flash like 24/7. Flash was going for 14 command centers. Yeah, every game. But now, but look at this. 4GG now assaulting the 1130 position. This is Light's, the second expansion. And I believe both players are probably just down to their mains and their natural expansions at this point, which should be mostly mined out. Actually, no. 4GG, don't forget, still has that temple expansion. That is Light's expansion. He's pumping gas from it still.
Wow, and it looks like that temple expansion of 4GG's is actually going to go out very shortly. I'm pretty surprised that. Oh no, actually it looks like he's pulling back. So Light going to back off from that one. But
Light has upper
left. So that's going to actually play into his favor, because I think he definitely is out mining 4GG at this point. And while 4GG's got a huge force, I mean, he threw away a ton of his tanks in that A move he pulled earlier. Or maybe not too many, but wow, Light on top of that new expansion already. Only a couple Goliaths to take out some SCVs, but I think that's all he needs to do, really. I mean, he's delaying the mining from happening for 4GG, and 4GG is going to have a tough time getting there. And finally, he's going to break open open that temple behind him, and he's gonna looks like he's gonna push forward and try to secure that expansion, at least from being mined out from 4GG. So a lot of tanks on the ground for Light in his base, some Goliaths as well. And I think if he pumped out another couple of dropships, he'd actually be in a lot better position. I think he only has 3 at this point. And wow, Light actually anticipating this attack coming from 4GG and lifting off the command center before anything can actually happen to it, which is certainly a smart move to conserve some of those 400 minerals that he spent in building it, as well as the time. And yeah, definitely, he's got to get some more dropships out. There's 5 out now for 4GG, and that could be something that tilts things back into 4GG's favor.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the expansions work on Harmony, because it looks like at the bottom left, 4GG's got his command centers very far away from the minerals. I don't know if it's just a misplant or if that's part of the map's design. That makes no sense though. But anyway, here comes 4GG. 4GG actually found a hole in the defenses that that Light set up. So Light now is going to be on the defensive here at the upper left, but I think he might have enough tanks to make this drop completely futile. Yeah, we're seeing 4GG have to load up twice to get all of his units in, and I think they're just getting sent into the meat grinder here. I don't know if he's going to get a foothold or not. This is like Omaha Beach here. He's just sending things in, and they're just not getting anywhere. He's just getting slaughtered on the ground here. Lots of World War II metaphors, I know. I'm actually going to throw in, this is more like the Battle of Gallipoli in World War I. That was actually a failure, unlike Omaha Beach.
Right,
but
man,
anyway,
now you're just making words up. Gallipoli, what the hell is that?
1915, man. Gallipoli, Turkey. But anyway, now we're seeing a big drop coming from 4GG on top of the tanks. That's where you need to put him, son. And he does take the battle, so nice work.
And Cholera schooling 4GG finally, but Light going right into the main of 4GG and dropping right on the production. No, it was a fake out, or he decides not to drop. I don't know what he's doing at this point. It looks like he did have units in there, so that he wasn't completely faking. Taking out a couple of stragglers, which is probably what he needs to do at this point. I mean, every unit counts. And
yeah, you see that command
he's
center?
gonna go take out the mid left. Yeah, it is really far away. That's silly. Why would he be that far away? I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I think that, oh man, it looks like 2 expansions gonna potentially go down for 4G at the same time, and this could be it. He just lost all of his SCVs there, and I think he's about to lose all of his SCVs at the mid left, but Light has completely lost the upper left, so things have evened up. We are back to almost no bases mining. 4GG does have a couple of bases, but no, tanks and Goliaths going in to take that out, and at this point, 4GG gonna lose his only mining base, and we're gonna have pure whatever units you have left on the field duking it out at this point if he can take out those units. But 4GG frantically trying to defend this at all costs. I would imagine he can't lose this. If he loses this, he's gonna be in a 50-50 crapshoot to win this game.
I think Light is actually not actually ahead though, because Light doesn't have expansions of his own. 4GG is out of expansions, but so is Light. I'm pretty sure both of them are completely mined out in their mains and naturals. So they're out of minerals, and we're in this interesting situation where, yeah, look at this. 4GG really has, I'm sorry, Light really has no mining going on. Light's trying to take his temple expansion back now. 4GG has had its way with it for a while, but I'm sure there's still plenty of minerals left. And Light, meanwhile, is just preventing 4GG from expanding. 4GG no longer producing anything. The factories are all dim there, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same case for Light. So I don't know whose unit count is higher. It's going to come down to who can get the drop in at the right time, and you know, who can actually get a secret command center somewhere. Also, that could be it. That could be possibly one of the turning crucial factors. If one of the players can get a command center up somewhere and protect it, that player will win the game. But look at this.
They're mining from the same place.
No, look at this. I mean, distance mining from 4GG versus somewhat distance mining from Light off the same patches. That's cute.
That's awesome. I think that 4GG is going to be the one who loses out on this, though, because Tank's in position to take out any SCVs that come his way at this point. So although he can push forward with another tank and try to go back and forth, and oh, here may be the ending drop right here. This could be the game-turning drop right now. We are seeing what looks to be a huge drop heading to 4GG's base, but no, it is getting intercepted. 4GG seeing this coming, already sieged up. Light going to lose a whole bunch of units, but doing a lot of damage in return, and now this is Oh, wow, taking out all the units. ForGG trying to reinforce, but I don't think he can do it fast enough. And ForGG stopped mining for light at the same time in his own base. So, wow, this is coming down to pure, I don't know, willpower. I think more units are out on the field for ForGG, but I think that, I don't know where his dropships are. I think that the mobility is still back to, in Light's ballpark. I don't know. I can't think of a good analogy or metaphor there. But the other thing is that Light, if we're going to talk about secret expansion, Light's definitely got the one up on ForGG for that one, considering he had about 2 hit it for quite a while. So if he can pull something off like that, and big force going in, and all those SCVs could go down, but no, focusing on the tanks instead, and those tanks go down, and so ForGG forced to back off once again. Wow.
Wow, I don't know if that was worth it, to be honest. I don't know what he was trying to do there. He brought his SCVs forward to try to absorb hits, but it didn't work. I thought almost for a second he was like trying to like do all that just to get a handful of minerals. Like, he was like, "Go mine, go now!" Wow, the tanks are getting killed.
What about his own expansion? He's got his own little bottom left expansion that he could do the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't have any bases anywhere else, though. I mean, I'm just surprised that he's fighting over that, to be honest. I mean, I know why. He wants to stop Light from having minerals also, but he could also pick up a hidden expansion with his SCVs instead of just trying to mine that one. But what is this? Look at this! ForGG just walked up the ramp. He just walked up the ramp. There's nothing in Light's way. Light had to block this army, and now Light is going to lose all of his production here. Everything's simultaneously lifting up. It's going to be a shooting gallery here inside of Light's base.
And those tanks moving into some tank fire, which a little careless on a move, though. So he's going to take out 2 at the expense of 1. An expansion, 2 command centers out, and expansion going to the top left. But I think ForGG may be in a better position at this point. I think he's really doing the production damage. Not that either player can even produce at this point, but I think he's taking out the main base, and he's got the larger force. I don't think that I really don't think. I don't see Light coming back from this position. I mean, I don't know what you think, but even with 3 dropships worth a unit.
Look at that! Look at that! There's random buildings in the middle. There's random buildings flying. What the hell?
Both players.
Yes. Well, I mean, the signs was on the starport, I guess, because he just wants vision. I don't even know why did he lift his signs.
Scouting.
Starports. I mean. Yeah, I don't know why he's lifting his starports. That is just bizarre play from ForGG. This game has gotten to the bizarre and to the surreal. I mean, Light, there's a reason why you put tanks on your ridge, so you don't have your opponent walk up the ramp like he did. He literally had absolutely nothing protecting his main base. I mean, I know he was trying to protect the back of his base, but if he just had like 4 tanks there's no way ForGG would have been able to do that. And look at this! Look at this! ForGG is floating every building he owns. I have no idea why he would do this. Explain to me.
They're obviously doing crystal meth as they play this game, because right now neither player is sure of what they're doing. Both players kind of just, I don't know, exploring the capabilities of Terran in floating and throwing units around the map, because right now I seriously don't think either player knows what's going on. Like, it doesn't seem like either seems to know who's in the lead or what's happening, or they're just like...
What is going on?
It's like computer AI. It's computer AI gone wrong. You know, it's like when the computer, when you kill a base and it makes a new base and just mines with 1 SCV for the rest of the match. It's like, what is it doing? It doesn't know.
ForGG's brain is an AI. I think ForGG's brain just rebooted, because I don't know what he's doing. Seriously. It's not like his base was getting destroyed by Light. I thought, you know, if Light had a force in his base doing stuff, he would need to float up all of his buildings. I guess partially it is possibly to scout out expansions. I think it might be it. But Light has a hidden expansion at the bottom left corner that could make a difference if Light ever lands enough buildings to build things. Unfortunately, all of Light's factories are in the process of floating around the middle, and ForGG might actually be following them with his buildings just to make sure they don't go anywhere. Now, Light also has no supply. Yeah, he has no supply, because guess what? ForGG walked up his ramp, and ForGG now is mining Light's natural expansion. This is ridiculous. We've
That's
traded
awesome.
bases. Well, but 4GG's taken over that almost completely depleted natural, and now he's discovered. Oh no, he hasn't discovered anything. He's doing scouting. I mean, I guess he only has one scanner, but he's decided to scout with all of his buildings and his entire army. And I
Oh,
think he might be able to find it. If he finds it early enough, I think it's going to be over for Light. But Light,
yeah.
his factory's landing.
I think 4GG is about to do some plundering and destroy the rest of Light's base at this point. But Light using all of his units, 3 tanks, to try to stop it, scouting with his dropships. But you know what? It's actually going to be tough for 4GG to move up. He's got plenty of units, but they're going to get caught on that ramp, taking a lot of hits. But as soon as he gets enough up,
Yeah.
wow, losing a ton. Oh my God! Look how many units are going down.
Oh my God! 4GG could lose this. 4GG, what did you
Oh
just
my
do?
God.
Oh my God! Oh my God! 4GG could lose this because he went up this ramp. Now there's nothing up the ramp either. Light just put a couple of
tank goes
factories down
down.
there. It's not even his expansion. He's not even. He didn't even expand it. Look at 4GG. This kid is so lost. I mean, I think his brain exploded. I really think his brain exploded. I mean, I think he's just not programmed to play like this, and he's gonna lose this game. It's ridiculous.
I think he just had an aneurysm. I mean, what else could you really say? I don't even know how to commentate this match anymore, man. Like, I'm completely lost. They didn't teach
Why
me
did he
this in
move?
commentating school.
Why did he? Why are like all of his buildings in the air in the middle of the map? There's no reasoning for that, and now he's gonna lose. Why do you take? Why do you take the worst expansion possible in the game? Like literally, that is the most depleted.
Yeah, but did you realize
Sorry, what'd you say?
it's one Goliath versus the world? Wait, no! There's a Goliath out for 4GG, so we have Goliath versus Goliath. I mean, it's not even like, oh, and a tank too. Where did those units come from?
Yeah.
He must have found them somewhere
I
on
don't
the
know.
map that he forgot about them.
I'm just wondering why 4GG took the worst expansion possible in the game when you're down one base. Take your opponent's depleted natural, please. And these units are going to get killed off by the SCVs. And 4GG discovered some units, I guess. But I don't know if they're going to do anything. 4GG actually has manufactured some units somewhere.
Oh, Light GG's!
Light GG's?
Light GG's!
Light GG'd first, right?
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
man,
but...
purple. Yeah, 4GG, he's giving the high fives. He won. He doesn't even know how.
I don't even know how. This game just blew my
Awesome.
mind. I can't even
Look at
commentate
him.
anymore. You're right. Look at him. He should be proud of himself. He didn't even know he was going to win until like the last 5 seconds of the game. Look at him. Some guy. Someone give this guy a Valium because look at him. He's going crazy.
Was that StarCraft? I'm not even sure what freaking game we were
I am
watching.
rewinding right now, and I'm watching because, oh man, I
All
thought
of a
Light had the
sudden-
bottom left.
Yeah, but all of a sudden, 4GG comes in with a Goliath, right? And then all of a sudden a tank comes out of nowhere, literally nowhere. I don't even know where he's producing that. And then another tank comes and shows up, and then a third tank comes up, and they... I don't know.
Light couldn't defend with his SCVs. He had one Goliath in a dropship, and he just what happened? Yeah, Light just didn't have. I'm sorry, we're rewinding. I think I'll probably put this game on rewind right now so you can actually watch it. But yeah, I guess Light just he brought some. You know, he didn't have any units left. He brought his factories over to the left side, and then his buildings, and then he couldn't build anything. And then he lost because of that, because he didn't have enough time. I think it came down to timing, like I said. If he just had like a minute more, he would get his production back up, because 4GG chose like the worst expansion ever and lost most of his stuff there. Wow.
Yeah, if you look at the mini map in like the last couple of minutes of the match, I'm looking at it now and I see that there's like 4 buildings landed in kind of a straight line going across the map on an angle. And the second one to the left, you can see a couple of units slowly being produced from it. And it looks like he must have landed a factory randomly, and he had mined enough from that depleted natural base of Light to make 3-4 units. And I think that was it. I think that was enough for him to just take the game.
I mean, I guess he could have. ForGG, maybe he was brilliant. Maybe he floated him out because he knew this game would come down to depletion, and he wanted some hidden tank somewhere in a proxy location or something. And also, of course, he wasn't going to be able to produce out of any of those buildings because he was so out of resources. So I guess that it does justify him having like 15 floating buildings. What a singularly bizarre game that was. That was just a strange Terran versus Terran, I gotta say. I mean, I can't even say who played better because until the last 4 seconds, I thought Light played better and it was going to win the game, hence. But 4GG wins at the end, I guess.
I think
overall,
it was pretty good either way.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, I gotta say, Light played smarter this game. He, he had a couple cute tricks. He also had better micro, but 4GG just had magic behind him or something. He just, he had map hacks. Map hacks. There we go. That's why.
Yeah.
And he built the army right in the beginning. The moment the starport went down, there was the armory. The moment everything happened, he map hacks won the game. That's my commentary conclusion.
I got nothing else to say, man. I'm just gonna say GG, and I gotta go to bed. I gotta keep this one off.
Yeah. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this epic Terran versus Terran. Not really epic, but this bizarre one. Thanks for watching.